go back to the thing. If I do something stupid, it's because I think I'm playing Portrait of Ruin for 5 minutes.
I might have cut back in before that and maybe muted what I was saying, which amounted to always back up your saves.
I will always say I learned the rolling back your saves from Best Friends play.
Always back up your saves.
And always roll back your saves and okay now plot. Wait.
Especially if you're doing YouTube related stuff.
That's why I said I picked up the one thing from them and I remembered plot it.
Now,
I believe I have to go back to that area in the cursed clock
to be
tower
fair,
with the spikes.
to be fair, when we swapped to OBS, other than that one time, and learning this, okay, I say one time, but this has come up a couple of times, and I did learn this was OBS, and it had nothing to do with my computer. We had a couple of recordings that were basically on fire. That one time at random, I thought my computer might be causing something stupid. Except then I learned, oh no, that one OBS update I had downloaded, that update was unstable and everyone was losing, like, recordings. But by using MKV, you have to remember, and this is the fun part of why I like MKV. Now, I still want backups, absolutely, in case something dumb happens, but MKV files can't be corrupted. So, because MKV files can't be corrupted, the only way we're absolutely losing data is if OBS is so fucky that, like, a recording actually becomes completely corrupt and unusable, as in, like, I try to load the footage and it's like a garbled mess of pixels or some shit. I'm gonna say this because I've had arguments with some people, and I've even seen videos that argue against this, even though I think this is worth considering. In this one video, I feel like the guy was kind of being an over-dramatic purist.
Ow.
MKV as a format cannot be corrupted. If OBS was...
Oh, that was pretty cool. I killed him in the middle of the dash attack.
If OBS was to randomly crash right now, we would literally have, up to the crash, MKV files are corruption proof. They will render exactly as they are, and I do think that is worth recording with, because losing footage due to a computer crashing or like a random power outage or some shit is obnoxious. So MKV files are non-corruptible, meaning I can salvage an MKV in the case of a random computer crash or some shit. Like that time where OBS kept crashing, and I learned later, no, that was OBS. That had nothing to do with my computer. Everyone was having OBS crash. The one update was broken.
You know, I should probably... Yeah, the enemies with the dark is actually swapped with Scythe. Damn it.
So,
Motherfucker.
OBS was fine after that one update, but unless footage literally becomes too corrupt because of an encoder error, or an OBS update just causes footage
I'm literally warping back to go heal.
So unless footage is literally garbled because an encoder error fucks up a recording, or OBS causes it to be garbled. Ow.
Like, literally just...
Okay. Ow. Running like, using MKV, I've talked about this before, but I've seen people argue against this, even though I do think people are being overdramatic, like, purist babies, where a video talking about OBS and some different settings for, like, recordings and stuff, and how you can do different formats. And there was this one other, like, common format that's somewhat decently data intensive, but it does look really clean. I don't remember what it was, where a guy was like, oh, if you're recording with OBS, you should use that format. It's a little bit data intensive, but it doesn't lose as much, like, picture quality as other formats. And the one guy was like, I highly recommend only recording with this. It's like, your videos will just look infinitely better than anything else. And it's like, you'll thank me later. Even though it's like, giving up a slight bit of visual fidelity for an MKV means your file is non-corruptible. And I think MKVs are perfectly fine. I also feel like a quality push realistically kind of depends on what you're recording, because I will be this person, like this Castlevania game, because I'm also just recording in standard 1080 pretty much, because we don't have a 4K TV, but this is also a
You are some tinky
original
motherfuckers.
Switch game, and this was a DS game. I don't think we need high fidelity recording to get all the details of a sprite-based DS game.
No, I don't need the... Oh, damn it, I'm going in.
All of our recordings for the foreseeable future will continue to be basic bits 1080.
I don't need the... immunity anymore because I'm...
I've talked about this before too, because I think 4K is overblown and that people are way too damn snobby, and it does feel like the 0.5% of people with like 4K TVs and stuff are like, oh no, 4K really does make a massive difference, but you have to have a giant 4K TV to notice that difference. And once you actually finally give in and look at it, it is like night and fucking day, where there are people who's like, oh, when I got my like 70-inch 4K TV and I plugged in my PS5, I can't go back to 1080. It is just too blurry.
Ladies, this is like all the female demons. I can only infer one thing.
Lesbian party!
Well, they were all succubus. Succubi?
All of our videos will be 1080, and that's good enough for me, because I will say it, 4K is overblown.
Well, this TV is also so old it doesn't even go to 4K.
I said that.
Yeah, I know you said that.
That would mean getting a, like... Well, that's the funny part. Due to the room size, if we matched that TV, there are people...
The Imp, it basically... Oh, damn it. The Imp, it's kind of sort of a... And of course he's not immune to the time stop. The Imp, basically it works effectively like the Killer Mantle from the first game, but it's way, like, instead of it being a hit, it's supposed to flip shit, except the Iron Golem is just basically immune to everything, so fighting this thing is just, it's just an asshole. So I might not try to kill it, because I forgot they were assholes and made it immune to the Imp. so swap back. Where's my magic? Swap back to that. Where the fuck did it? There we go.
I mean, you can try to fight me on it, but I will say it. 1080 looks fine. 4K is infinitely overblown. And even then, even if we wanted to get into 4K, due to the room size, if we matched the TV we have with a 4K TV, there are people who will...
fuck it. Like, it really doesn't matter.
There are people who will basically tell you, like...
Like I said, it is way less useful than it used to be.
Like, oh, to really enjoy 4K and to truly understand why it is the pinnacle of, like, all existence, your 4K TV needs to be a minimum of 70 inches. And we don't have room for a fucking 70-inch 4K TV in here.
Axe armor. A killer clown. Yeah, I'm like, like, this is the way this is something you need later, except because of what this is. I'm probably not going to do it. I'm just going to open it. This is, wait, no, damn it, wrong one. I did Yorick, I want Ukabak. They both start with a Y, so that was my dyslexia. There's Ukabak. Unlike the 3 souls needed for something important in the first game, I don't get the connection to those 3 other than them all being bullet souls. Because much like the first game, this is like technically what you need to get en route to the best ending, but I want to show the bad ending first, so like I said, that's
They see me rolling, they hating, patrolling.
Yeah, I'm just going to ignore that.
Trying to catch me riding dirty.
Yeah, I left the infinite magic on because there are a lot of areas here that are just straight lines, and it's like, this just makes shit go by faster. It's the only reason I have the infinite magic on. So now I'll go back to exploring the one area fully, like, a proper...
And to turn things into rants, because we've had these before, this is normally where Carson would go on about Render 96 looking awful.
Because it does. I go on about it looking awful because it does. So I've got the game for 5 minutes here. The Valkyrie is another transformation assault. Honestly, I should probably be using the Valkyrie and not Barbarissia because I believe Barbarissia is dark damage. Because fucking look at him.
You and Render 96.
The Valkyrie is holy damage.
You and Render 96.
Because it looks like ass. Not just holy damage, I think it's also actually faster.
A little bit.
So...
Because we're in a world now where, like, I'm all for cleaning up, and in some instances, 2K might look a smidge better, even though I even think 2K is not the massive upgrade you all act like it is, because I think 1080 is clean enough. But we are now in a world where people are trying to get like 8K for classic games, and that is, I will just say it, fucking stupid. I don't need my N64 games to have like 8K and ray tracing.
Yeah. The enemy that's a reskin of the Valkyrie, I have, hold on. Damn, I want to see how many things are... Oh good, you're vulnerable at the time stop. I really need to use this more. It's more effective than you would think. That enemy that's a reskin of the Valkyrie, if you're not going to grind anything, that's one of those. That's something you should at least try to pick up, because that thing is very useful. That thing is very useful against the final boss.
So yeah, I will. Like,
Damn it.
I'll say it and you can fight me. I don't think cleaning up games is inherently stupid. But god damn it, we do not need like 8K and like ray tracing on like N64 PS1 era nonsense. There is no point to that. Cleaning up a game is fine though. And I do think cleaning up a game is okay. Because N64 era games can be kinda blurry. And just some basic cleaning up to have some basic texture work where it's a little bit less blurry can be useful. But I don't mind just some basic stuff because I don't think we need to try and push the PS1 era stuff to try and be basically super high res, because I think that kind of looks dumb. A bit of basic cleaning though, I don't mind, because with better technology, we can use the base, like, output and just get less of a, like, fuzzy picture and have a pretty clean retro look.
Fuck you, Final Guard. When I went to see him. Oh, of course not.
Yes.
Now, I can't remember if the Final Guard is vulnerable to the imp or not. Oh, I think I did like 10.
Oh, you did 14 and the imp did 14.
Especially with increased shit on hard mode. I'm not even going to bother. I'm just going to say fuck off. Wrong button. It's not, damn it, it's not worth it. It is not worth it. These enemies are just obnoxious damage sponges, nothing more.
Mm-hmm.
Especially on hard mode. Like, I could probably,
We've talked about this, and I've made fun of this, where people talk about, like, preservation and stuff, and I kind of talked about this the last time of that video that got a lot of heat, even though I agree with him. We was talking about people reviewing that Metal Gear Solid collection and just ranting that it was just a PS1 game. And him making a joke is like, for people that talk about preservation and archival, it's like, you sure seem mad that it's just a PS1 game, and tons of people in the comments are first off, it's like, dude, people aren't mad that it's a PS1 game. They were charging like $60 for a PS1 game. That should be illegal. The PS1 game should be like $5.
Because it wasn't just the PS1 game, it also had the MSX games. And I'm pretty sure it also had the American NES versions. In there too. Yeah, let's just...
Okay, technically, because it's Steam, there was the weird split where Steam let you technically, for slightly less money, sort of get individual things, so a lot of those reviews were not like the full collection, but it's just like Metal Gear Solid 1 as part of the collection, but technically on its own for slightly less, and that would technically be just a PS1 game. But what he said is basically spot on. People talk about archival and preservation and stuff, and then you get basically a PS1 game that is just a PS1 game, and people want this PS1 game to have all these enhancements and other shit, which is so far removed from the PS1. Now, more reasonable people will at least, oh no, it's like, I'm not saying that there should be like 16 by 9, but just make it a toggle option. Because everyone, when you talk about people being kind of unreasonable, always, oh no, just make it a toggle, then everyone's happy. Then you could toggle widescreen on and off. And people try to spin it as like, oh, just have toggle options. It's like, Christ, we're in a world where if you want to play the original PS1 game with nothing added to it, you could do that, but then I could toggle like a higher frame rate or some shit. Where I do...
Okay, I'm going to go into, like I said, intentionally try to get the bad ending.
What?
I said I'm going to go intentionally try to get the bad ending. That is why I ignored the one area, because you can technically do that before this fall. One of the bad endings. This game has 2 bad endings.
I do find it funny that people talk about preservation and archival, but then everyone's like...
What took you so long? Let's finish this. I'll show you why you can't become the Dark Horse. Even Belmont was no match for me. You think a punk like you can win? Was there ever any doubt? Power is nothing if you don't know how to use it. I'll never lose to a fool dominated by his own power like you. Well, what's a point of power if you don't use it? Don't act as if you know. It's about survival of the fittest. Let's see you try to survive this time. Gah. Oh, wait, wrong set. Damn it. The flying humanoid increases intelligence, so because it increases intelligence is how the game calculates your sub-weapons, hence,
Yes.
Damn it. Motherfucker.
You ever try... Sir, I do believe you've gone mad with power. Of course I have! You ever try going mad without power? It's boring. No one listens to you.
Like, look at that. I'm doing 90 damage now.
Yes.
Because the way it was, like, the way the flying humanoid is basically supposed to work is it drains your MP, but I have the infinite MP, so I can literally just sit here and basically, oh, damn it, and basically use it and, till it gets to max. Look at that damage. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Oh, bullshit. Bullshit game. Spawned on top of me. Motherfucker. And there he goes.
Yes.
And notice how the seal was used automatically. I didn't do that. I cut off the power from the darkness using a magic seal. Give up. It's over. But get away from him, Solma. No. He couldn't resist the demon that fused with his soul. You're saying he lost his soul to the demon's power? He perhaps could have been saved if the demons were cut free from his soul, but don't let it concern you. This is just what happens when you let your hunger for power overwhelm you. Arcana. What became of... yeah. I'm sorry, we have units tracking her whereabouts now. So we're done here. Let's get out of here. What's wrong? Nothing. I just felt something odd for a moment. Did anything strange happen in the castle? No, nothing. Wait. Come to think of it, when I felt... there was something weird. Go on. I never finished him off, but he died anyway. That's when I felt something enter me, like a soul, under domination. I'll have to investigate. Come, we'll meet with Yoko right away and head for the church. Is something happening to me? I don't know. But we'll know soon enough. And there's the first of the bad endings.
Yes.
Data has been saved. Now on to the real game.
Oh, well,
where did the Manticore go? There's track of it every fucking time. Manticore, there you are. It's a flying humanoid. Get the Valkyrie moves faster and there's holy damage, so Valkyrie and guess I'll keep a Lilith. Makes the Manticore and shit stronger. Oh wait, and this is if you're trying to get all of the souls, where is it? The fuck is that one bird anyway? Damn, I need to actually read the descriptions. Summon Thunderbolts. Damn it. I need a soul that attacks with electricity. Throw knives. Great armor. Oh, there we go. Light. And then Mothman. Which is immune to time stop. What the fuck? Oh, and I get his soul first try. Yeah, it's one of the ones that's a obnoxious pain in the ass to potentially get. That's why I just wanted to show it, because that's one of the other ones most people get close to the end of the game, and then they get, like, they're only missing Mothman, and it's like, where the fuck is Mothman? Because you need something that can create electricity, either using the one bullet soul or making one of the few electric weapons. Going to fly past everything. I have no reason to fight all of you. Once you activate one of the transformation souls, you can't stop moving. The reason I don't turn around, you literally can't. Damn it. An interesting fact about the transformation souls in this game and the first game, those are a remnant of originally they wanted Soma to transform into every enemy, but that was too hardware intensive, so they scrapped it.
Technically, they're not stated as a remnant. The idea...
I would assume it's a remnant because the idea was to have a Soma
Soma would absorb a soul and you could transform into that enemy outright instead of just getting some type of power. But they couldn't get that working, so they decided on the dominance thing and having just basic bitch powers, but even cutting the concept down, the lead programmer still hated this game.
Well, because this and Aria of Sorrow, you have 50 abilities. Unfortunately, the thing is there isn't really a save point that's super close. That's kind of unfortunate.
Uh-oh, how unfortunate.
God damn, going to lie, I think everything on hard mode has a bit too much fucking HP. Like, the first game, I felt the HP values on hard mode were very fair. This game feels like every fucking enemy takes too fucking long to kill. Because the closest save point is right there, is all the way up there. Yeah, fuck it, I have to rewind.
Oh.
I think it's, damn it, wanted to get a save close by, but there really aren't any, and that's kinda dick. It's kind of dick because to dog out the game for a minute, something I wanted to dog out, which is a problem I think all of the search action Castlevania games have, which is I feel these games, they don't respect your time.
You keep saying these things?
Because they don't respect your time. Because I'm going to say it, and I don't care how much people cry skill issue, I feel like random drops should basically effectively be abandoned in games, because random drops are not fucking difficulty. What is the difference between having to kill something one time to get an item and 100 times to get the item? You are just wasting my time at that point. Yeah, I have a decent amount of, potions and, high potions, fuck it. Damn it. Oh, fuck me.
Oh.
Oh wait, damn it, I still have the thing equipped. There's the managed bar. Around the top, I screwed. Everything's getting moved around based on the souls you get. There it is.
Go check some stuff.
Motherfucker. I really don't like this boss. I think it's... Fuck. I've never seen him do this before. I've never seen getting him caught in a lock like that. Now I get to the real fight. When I get to the real fight, it's because Valkyrie is actually useless. I should put Bat Company on. Where the fuck? I should really put Bat Company on. Oh, damn it, for this one. Damn it, motherfucker. Oh, come on! Oh, I started fucking moving. The problem is when you transform, there's like a small There's like a small delay to the time it takes you to transform. 60. Maybe that's wide enough to... Okay, there we go. Here's what they want you to do, and this is very hard to be able to. It's very hard to be able to tell in this fight. The mirrors they. Oh, damn it! They go where you are. So because they go where you are, they want you to try and get around them, where it's like I stand basically still to avoid it. Then because I was over there, I moved to like over here. Okay, that idea would have worked if I wasn't as close. I moved to like right here. Damn it. I really don't like this fight. Sort of for that shit of the fact that his fucking feet can just hit you. I really feel like his feet should not be considered a fucking hitbox. Damn it. Yeah. Angles the lasers to try to hit where you were. At least the bat makes it relatively straightforward to avoid. Damn it, the problem is then just a matter of... Damn it. There we go. Ah, motherfucker. Fuck you. Fuck you, paranoia. Got the ability to enter mirrors. And yeah. And that's what you have to do to properly, like, be on the path for the true ending, because, you know, there's the giant-ass mirror in the background of the one final. So I'll be a tiny bit fair and say, I don't know if the, like, problems, because, you know, this is a new game plus hard mode. I have no idea if, like, the problems I'm having are technically being under level, because I'm not really, like, super fighting a lot of shit, but I still kind of feel like the hard mode, the HP increases are just obnoxious, because, like, that fight, as an example, the avoiding avoiding paranoia, it's actually, especially in the second phase, it is fairly straightforward. Going back to the start to buy some extra potions and shit. Going back to get paranoia, avoiding it's fairly straightforward. Especially when I remember to wait the things, the lasers, because a lot of people say that the lasers feel impossible to dodge. It's because they target where you were. Using the bat form, it's not really that hard, but then I feel like at that point the fight is just kind of obnoxiously long. Because even, you know, this big attack, even that only did like 70. Then again, I guess part of the reason for the problem is the strength increase. I only have 2 golems, so that barely increases my strength, whereas I guess the game wants me to probably have like that maxed out. Oh hell, can I ask you something? What is it? It's about Julius. Do you think he considers me to be just a burden? Well, you are a woman. Ew. I don't think he thinks that. Solomon, you saw him. At the draw, he laughed without a word from me. And before that, he also said that monsters inside were tough, so I offered to help. And you know what he turned me down as I was a child. Whoa, calm down. What, are you on Julius' side? No, that's not. Yeah, I'm sure that Julius is just worried about you. I can fight too. There's no need for him to worry about me. Yoko, you just don't understand how a guy thinks. He just cares about you and doesn't want to see you get hurt. That would be 10 times worse than getting hurt himself, but you have to try and understand for his sake. If I were in Julius, I think I'd say the same thing. Really? Well, I guess I can see that. But wandering around all the time isn't much. When you get home, make sure you treat me alright. Yeah, I know. I'm glad I have someone to confide in, so how may I help you? If you return to basically both of them just throughout the game, there are points where they will they will update dialogue at points. Like I was saying before. Because technically having the mines up and shit doesn't really matter because I have the infinite MP, but I like seeing number go up. Anyway, like I was saying, it's a funny like continuation of things from trying to like what I was talking about from before fighting the paranoia. I think like random drops really shouldn't be a thing anymore because they just waste your time, because there is no difference in oh I just sit, because like there's no difference basically in oh I sit here and like I said I beat the enemy once and get a thing versus I beat the enemy 100 times and get a thing. That doesn't change anything. That's just the game wasting your time. That's just the game not respecting your time. because with it being random, because I know the exact argument people are going to say to that, it's like, oh, things have to be random for, like, the sake of, like, difficulty or something, or, oh, it would, the game would be, like, too easy if everything was guaranteed. Except the thing is, when it's not guaranteed, it can still happen. I could get stupid lucky and have every single enemy I kill drop its soul on a first playthrough, even though this is a 1 in, like, a trillion chance of happening. But it could happen. Like, all the enemies I killed, I could get their soul if I was stupid lucky. While that will basically probably never happen ever without any, like, without intentional RNG manipulation, it can still happen. That's why I think saying that, like, oh, things have to be random, because if not, the game would be too easy, except because it's random, I could get it on a first playthrough. I could get it on a first playthrough or a first kill. And if I do, it makes the game significantly easier. Part of the reason Portrait is probably my favorite out of these is because it's the one technically was like the least amount of grinding. Because while Portrait has armor that enemies and stuff drop, the armor and stuff that enemies drop, unless you are trying to complete all of the quest in the game, you literally don't need any of it. The game gives you plenty enough tools without relying on enemy drops. Asshole. Okay, I can't do the A slash in the air. That's why a problem whenever people say that's for, like, balance, because it doesn't balance anything. The sense of difficulty it creates is an artificial one, because it makes things seem more valuable because of the game taking for... Oh, no, oh, no, it was there. Is there a save up top? I swear there was a save closer to the one area that I remember. Oh, thank God. Wait, no, the save was right here. I'm dumb. Because there's actually a save close to the final staircase. It's Paranoia. That's the one where the game is kinda dick, and there's a save that's a bit far back. For this upcoming boss, Axe Armor I think would be good. Now the problem is that this upcoming boss is flying, and I don't think there's an ice element attack that's flying, so... yeah, I'll use Guy Bomb. Already showed this cutscene and everything, so just skipping through it. And now we'll put Paranoia, stand in front of the... Oh wait, I forgot B. because it's a bullet soul, you have to do up and Y. It's not just up. Now I get to the real fight. Yeah, he's only weak to ice. So he's like, because he's flying and I can't remember if the frozen shade can actually hit him after he dives down. Oh, yeah, you can. Except because it's multi hit, it looks like it barely does any damage, so I guess back to Mandragora because it's at least a high hitbox. Let's try to Mandragora every time. So, damn it. Yeah, the Mandragora is way more. Way more damage than a basic sword swing. It's 74. Yeah, the big attack does like fucking nothing. Because this fight in a lot of ways really isn't hard, it's just kind of annoying because he's just a big hitbox. Damn it. Damn it. Because it only has like 3 or 4 attacks, and because I have the infinite magic, Gaibon is actually doing pretty good chip damage, all things considered. I just hate how the fight has the stupid, he's just a constant hitbox.
Really bad. Oh, Jesus.
Damn it.
Had to take an extended bathroom break. Person was playing, so I could just walk off and go to the bathroom for like 15 minutes. Oh my god.
Damn
Sometimes you gotta go.
Motherfucker.
I returned.
In this game, I think this boss is kind of an asshole and terribly designed. In Portrait, I love fighting this thing because you actually have good ice damage. Ice Needles fucking shreds this boss. But in this, actually, I'm just going to fuck it up in intentionally. Just fuck it up in damn it. Because he has like no life. Gaibon is just constant chip damage. Also, I believe Gaibon was one of the familiars you could get in Symphony. Thanks, Gaibon. So I can then talk about drop rates as I was talking about before you walked in.
I had to go.
Skill issue.
sometimes you have to go.
What? What did you do, punk? My power, it's gone. I destroyed the demon that fused with your soul, and your power was it. My power. Having power doesn't necessarily mean you're strong. Haven't you learned your lesson? You are much more than I had imagined. I came as I promised. Let's stop the stupid chase. Very well, I can agree to that. You don't seem to be too concerned about this. It's as if you knew this was going to happen. Well, who am I to say? But there is more than one way to make a Dark Lord. You don't give up, do you? There aren't any more Dark Lord candidates. That may be true, but the game isn't over just yet. The center of the castle. I shall await for you there. Another trap. I thought we were going to end this. Trust me, we will. But first, there's something that I wish to see. I shall be waiting.
White woman away!
Basically, one thing I hate in... one thing I hate in games, part of the reason that fight is obnoxious in this game is because you don't really have a good water or like ice attack to hit him. Because with water and ice being considered the same, the fishman enemy soul counts as water enemy. Where? What? Fishman. Yeah, that's still also a kind of low, like a low range. That could have probably been slightly better, but yeah, that is max level. It could have probably been slightly better, but low range. It's one thing I hate in games when something has a weakness, but you basically have like no good way to exploit said weakness. What's the point of fucking programming it then if there's like no easy way to use it? Because other than the Merman attack, most ice moves are things that travel along the ground. And that like ice sword you can get wall that would turn your basic attack and you would have an attack like that that's also ice element. That sword is so weak, I'm pretty sure the Flame Slash just outstats it.
Yeah. Ow.
Anyway, the thing, like, the big thing I was going to say, I feel like drops, that is just artificial difficulty. There is no difference in taking, like, 5 minutes to get something versus, like, 5 hours.
Random drops were never meant to be grinded. They were meant to make playthroughs of games unique.
Except I kind of sort of talked about that while you were gone, where I said I know people are going to say, oh, if you got, like, drops first try, it would be too easy. Except I can get them first try. I said, it's like, while it has like a 1 in a trillion chance of happening, every single enemy I have ever killed in this playthrough, I could get lucky and they could all drop a soul. Like, I could have gotten 3 of that guy's soul right there. The RNG could swing that way. So any arguments about like they're not supposed to be grinded or whatever are stupid because like what happens when I get it.
It's time for the question of the day and my overall thoughts on the topic. So anyway, how many of you would also like random drops to basically get abolished from video games? Because I could generally agree with that. Since Carson is generally right, random drops do basically create a weird waste of time. So, random drops really do add a stupid level of inconsistency to any video game. And the types of people I was making fun of basically would say that the point of a random drop is to basically spice up a playthrough and that you're not supposed to ever sit there and grind. But let's all be fucking real here. Human nature makes almost anyone sit there and fucking grind, because if a random drop is useful, it makes you want that random drop, so you will sit there and grind for it. This is just human nature. Most people don't casually play through a game and basically ignore random drops if they know about their existence, if the drop is useful. So most people end up sitting there until they get the random drop, which generally does defeat the purpose of that one argument, because only a few select purists would play a game that way, where they basically play through the game, and if they get a random drop, they basically use it. If they don't get a random drop, they don't sit there and grind, because the purist argument basically boils down to, you're not supposed to ever grind. You're just supposed to play the game, and if you get lucky, that spices up your playthrough and makes your playthrough more interesting if you happen to get the drop, and that's generally what the argument is built around. Getting the drop is supposed to be a nice surprise that spices up a playthrough. The argument is basically in favor of just playing the game, seeing what you get, and if you get unlucky, well, that's just the nature of the game. But let's be fucking real here, almost no one would actually play a game like that, especially if people are doing some research and they learn about super overpowered or super useful random drops. They will generally go out of their way to grind those drops, which defeats the purpose of the purist angle. And I have seen almost no one play a game that way. But I'm starting to get way off topic here. So anyway, I will wrap this up. I would love to know how many of you would also love to see random drops in video games get completely abolished. And I would love to know if you're against that notion for basically that surprise purist reason, where you basically think, oh, it does spice up games to know that if you get incredibly lucky, you get something cool and unique, especially if it's overpowered. But again, most people would never let that go. Most people, if they learn, oh, if I fight this thing a bunch, I could get a cool weapon or some shit. So people will sit there for hours getting the good shit. This is incredibly common. But anyway, I am starting to ramble. You can leave your thoughts, opinions, and answers in the comments, or you can leave them all on social media. All of my social media links, as well as my Discord links, are in the video description. Now, as always, I need to be a shill for a minute. If you subscribe to the channel, and if you follow me on social media, that really helps our communities grow. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope I will see you all next time. So, as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, everybody. I hope you come back someday. See you later.